Hello, Night Nation, and welcome to a special overtime edition of the UCF Knightline podcast on YouTube. I'm Andrew Phegley.
And I'm Trylko. We're coming to you from outside Bright House Network Stadium with a special look at the 2015 UCF football team.
Trace, the Knights were two-time defending American Athletic Conference champions. They come into the season winning 15 of the last 16 AAC games.
But they come in a bit of an underdog. AAC media, 29 of the 30 votes going to Cincinnati to win the AAC East, only one vote going to UCF.
Recently, we spoke with college football guru Phil Steele on the Knightline podcast, and he said UCF is a program that's reloading, not rebuilding.
Well, UCF's going to be tested. New wide receiving core, new secondary. UCF head coach George O'Leary believes in the 2015 edition of the Knights.
Again, heading into the 47th year coaching, and it doesn't change. You get that pit in your stomach about the season and what can you accomplish. We're going to be a very solid football team, and I think we have some very good young athletes that we have to get a lot of experience quickly too, and that's part of coaching. But I do think I like the chemistry of this team.
But it's going to be some underclassmen that are key on offense, namely quarterback Justin Holman, running back William Stanback, and wide receiver Jordan Akins.
Yeah, I think Stanback this year is going to really, get back into it. I think he looks good. He had confidence when we talked to him. I think this is going to be his year.
Speaking of confidence, boy, Justin Holman has a lot of confidence, and Jordan Akins feels he could be one of the keys to step up at wide receiver.
I think Jordan's going to be great this year. He's such a big guy. He's got such, he's a man out there. He's a little bit older than everybody else. We said this about him last year, but I think this is going to be his year to shine as an actual wide receiver.
And we talked to the trio at UCF Media Day.
Last year, I was so focused on the quarterback stuff and really grasping the offense that I didn't spend that much time with my O-line because I had so much to worry about with myself. But now that I have a grasp of the offense, now I'm spending time with my O-line. I see how they think, and I show them how I think and how the running backs may think on certain plays, and it just makes us better. One thing I really respect about this group of receivers is that they never complain about anything, and they're mentally tough and physically tough, and I like these guys. Some of the best quarterbacks in the game are leaders, and I know these guys are looking up to me, and I don't want to let them down. I respect them just as much as they respect me, and I don't want to let these guys down at all, or my coaches.
I hurt my foot, next thing you know it's my shoulder, then it's my shoulder, maybe my groin. But I always try to stay positive through that, just try to look past it and find a way where I can get that extra dog in me to keep me going, that extra motor to wherever it is, if it's like on and off the field, being positive in the classroom or whatever it was, just to keep me going through the football. Oh, those are my guys, those are like my brothers. I asked them how did I look, hitting the hole. They asked me, did I get my second step in the ground and stuff like that, I try to build my chemistry the most with them, obviously, they're blocking for me, and all of them mostly are older than me, so I kind of look up to them, they look up to me as well, and I have to be that guy for them, they make me look good, I make them look good.
I definitely can make plays with the ball, try to block to help other people make plays, and just try to be an all-around player for the team.
Confident bunch. When we spoke with Phil Steele, college football writer on the Knightline podcast a few weeks ago, he said that Coach O'Leary told him that he had a quiet confidence going into the season. Same about the other side of the ball as well.
Yeah, everybody seemed positive and confident that we talked to today. Everybody has, something. I didn't hear a lot of me's. I heard a lot of we's, all that stuff. That's good.
And, of course, they are experiencing a new approach with a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Chuck Bresnahan comes over this year from USF. Unfortunately. But he also coached for the Raiders in the NFL and a couple of other teams. That's got to instill some confidence in some of these guys. It's a different thing to do, but with new players, it's going to be awesome.
We've been very good on defense, as far as, playing pretty well. But if we can maintain that, we'll be just fine.
This year, I feel like the defense can look forward to just being more active, more vocal. They're going to see more moving around from this defense. We're a young defense, and everybody is just coming together to try to make the best thing we can make this year. We lost some good guys back there the secondary, but I feel like us four can fill in and make some plays and do the same thing or do better. I feel like they shouldn't be nervous about it. I know a lot of fans and people want to be the team we was last year and before, but it's a new group. It's going to be a fun group, and we're going to take the challenge and we're going to make the best of it.
Chuck Bresnahan worked for me in 1989 to 91. We were at Georgia Tech, won the national championship. Very solid football coach. I was surprised that he was let go at South Florida, because that's the one thing but I think he's a guy that's coordinated 3 times in the pros, 3 different situations. Very knowledgeable, understands the system, understands the language, terminology-wise, and I think the players appreciate him. He's a real aggressive guy out there, very, very vocal, and but very positive when he's being vocal, which I think is important.
Tough games on the road for the Knights this year. Stanford, South Carolina, and Cincinnati.
Yeah, those are tough games. First up, though, Florida International Golden Panthers here at Bright House Network Stadium for the home opener Thursday, September 3 at 6 p.m.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this special edition of UCF Knightline Overtime. Make sure to check us out on www.ucfknightlinepodcast.com and UCF_Knightline on Twitter.
Also on Facebook, and of course, new editions of the Knightline podcast go up every Sunday on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud. You can find us in a lot of places.
Thank you very much for listening to us. We do this for you. I'm Andrew Phegley.
I'm Trylko. Go Knights!
Charge on.